Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub-$500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. From their innovative ceramic materials to sexy automatic divers, from ultra-thin dress watches to solar-powered statement pieces, and everything in between, Movement is making sure you're the good gifter this year, for your family, your friends, or for yourself. And now you can take advantage of 30 to 50% off Movement's California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories to get them a gift they'll never forget. With fast, free shipping and returns and amazing bang for your buck, Movement makes for a relaxed shopping experience. And with one-size-fits-all watches, it's an easy, elegant gifting experience too. Shop 30 to 50% off now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Three Terrible Gamers. This is Ashton here with Just Colin again.
Hey guys.
And we're still with only 2 of us, but that's fine. We'll still talk about gaming news and everything. So let's go ahead and talk about the GTA 6 leak. What do you think about that situation?
I mean, I find it hysterical that people still think that they're not going to be charged or anything for leaking like that, because it was a hacker that done it. He hacked into Rockstar's systems and completely, brought out the game. But the guy also and this is kind of off topic, but the guy also hacked into Uber as well. So the guy was just like going around everywhere, hacking through everything, which I think the FBI has got him in custody now. But yeah, I think it was, pretty hilarious that he decided to choose Rockstar and Uber out of all the big companies he could have chose, because those are the only 2 that's actually going to come after you.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got some confidence. He's got some balls going with Rockstar, because Take-Two and Rockstar, they don't mess around. They'll sue you over nothing. So, I mean, leaking GTA 6, I mean, yeah, it was very early into development, so it wasn't a crucial data or a story or anything that was leaked. But still, you said they hacked Rockstar and Uber. They also hacked NVIDIA, Microsoft, and others. So he's going to be doing some time. I seen it was a 17-year-old that hacked it.
Yeah, from the UK, I believe.
Yeah. So, like I said, Take-Two and Rockstar, they don't mess around. They will sue you for the tiniest thing. Along with Nintendo and the Pokemon company, they will sue you for nothing as well. So those companies you got to watch out for. Which, I mean, they have the right to. It's their content. If they don't want it out, they're not going to release it. So it's none of your business. But I seen that he didn't intend for it to go viral, which people have been waiting for GTA 6 for 9 years now. So if you leak anything to do with GTA 6, it's going viral.
Yeah, definitely. Leaking is officially a thing that's going to get you in trouble no matter what you do, because once enough companies like Rockstar and everybody else starts standing up for it, it's going to be a thing to where it's a normal everyday thing. To where if you do it, you are going to suffer majorly.
Oh yeah, they don't mess around, and they shouldn't because it's their IPs, it's their property. So people protect their property.
Yep. It wouldn't be no different than someone, breaking into your house per se, because that's basically what they done. That was their safe space as a company that they broke into to release all those images.
Exactly.
Like I said, I believe in hacking, but it should be used for good and not, for notorious reasons.
Right. I understand hacking. A lot of people
Because that's
do it
basically
to.
emulators.
Yeah. Like if you hack and just even keep it to yourself, if you find out something, say that wasn't released in a game or something, you found it through code in the game or whatever, just keep it to yourself. I mean, I know it's hard to keep it to yourself because, a lot of people are going to be excited about it, but still, if it has a chance to get you in trouble, just keep it to yourself.
Oh, yeah. Especially whenever it comes down to bigger companies,
Yeah.
because they got the money to do it.
Oh, yeah. And most of the time, they're going to win that case.
Oh, yeah, cut and dry to get this kid screwed now, basically threw off his whole entire life.
Yeah, exactly. Just by being immature and stupid about it.
Because basically, once you hack into the systems, even though his intent, but obviously he released the images, but they look at it as if he was able to get in that, he could have stole pretty much everyone's bank account that was attached to those places.
Exactly. He could have got a lot more personal information, still a possibility. They'll
Hmm.
take that into account.
Yep, because he could have compromised literally anything other than just images.
Yeah. And I think they said he got videos too
Yeah, I believe there
of
was of actual video really like a character walking in the Vice City quote unquote area.
yeah, I think they said that the character models weren't even finished. Like it wasn't even, a fully, you know, fledged out character walking around. It was very, very early development, but still,
The graphics were good on it though already.
oh really?
From what I've seen, I was like, oh yeah, these graphics are already like 4K worthy.
Wow, next gen already?
Hmm. Well, I mean, obviously that's going to be the audience they're focusing on once it does come out.
Oh yeah. I don't see it coming out for the Switch unless by that time they have the new Switch out.
That's always been a weird Nintendo thing. I don't think there's been a GTA that came out to a Nintendo console other than Chinatown Wars for the DS. And it was a
Well,
top, it was like the original, it was like the top down view, and then the trilogy, obviously.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They released a trilogy, so I figured if they released a trilogy, they'll probably release the new one on Nintendo hardware. They may not.
Yep, we'll find out because they are picky and choosy with that type of stuff.
Nintendo or Rockstar or both.
Both.
Yeah. But I mean, they got a lot of mature rating games on the Switch, so I don't see why it
Oh
matters. And they
yeah.
have the trilogy on there, so I mean, come on, it doesn't really matter.
It's not like we're in the 90s anymore. This isn't really even a debated thing now. Like, I mean, obviously in the 90s it was controversial, but that was with Mortal Kombat and everything else. But since the ESRB's been out and yet again, Nintendo's finally figured out that not everyone that has their consoles is a family. Yeah, you're more likely to be a family person if you own a Switch, but that's not the case anymore for the most
Right.
part.
Yeah, and while we're on the topic of GTA 6, are you looking forward to it? Will you buy it?
I mean, I've always been interested in the GTA series. Granted, I mean, a lot of people are going to hate me for this. I wasn't really a fan of five. I mean, I enjoyed the older retro ones. I would, if I had the money, I would go out and buy the trilogy again because it was all the older titles. But as far as GTA 5 went, I wasn't really a fan. I, I bought it because literally as soon as yeah, it was, no, it was probably a year after it came out. I turned 17, and that's whenever I decided that was the first purchase that I made. That was I was able to buy an in game by myself. But as far as actual gameplay goes and everything else, I couldn't get into it like I could with the older titles. Even in even going back and playing the older titles now, I prefer to play the older titles than what I do the newer ones.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't care much for 5 myself. Summer, she hates me for saying that because she loves GTA 5. She don't like the older ones. She don't like San Andreas or Vice City. She don't like those. But she also didn't grow up on them like we did. So
Yeah,
I I like my favorite San Andreas. I know we played Vice City first, but San Andreas was my favorite.
I'll agree. I like San Andreas better. It was a better overall game.
It
I
was.
I mean, you could swim on that one. That was one of the weird ones where you could swim.
Yeah. Now,
But
the older ones, I don't really I don't like the top-down
yeah,
GTAs. From 3 and on is fine, but I don't like the top-down.
yeah, the top down it was weird, and like I said, that's what that Chinatown Wars was. Whenever it came out on DS and '09, that was a top down version again.
Yeah, I don't like that. Which a lot of people say the same thing about top-down Zeldas, but I like those. I mean, they stay true to, the whole and the first one was a top-down, so I mean,
Oh yeah, but I mean, so it wasn't the first two GTA's, but at the same
yeah,
time, it's just the play style is different for GTA from what it is from The Legend of Zelda.
yeah. But just like almost any gaming franchise, 3D is better. Not always, but most of the time.
But if you go on my GTA 5 profile, if that hacker was to ever get a hold of my Xbox thing, he would see that, I got a bunch of achievements for GTA 5, but that's just because Colby preferred to play it over top of me, and Colby played on my profile all the time.
I know, I'd always see him playing on your profile.
I don't know how many times I had to get off and yell at him because he was on my profile and kicked me off whenever I was in a different room, or once I moved out, you know, whenever he kicked me off randomly, I would always call him and be like, dude, I was playing. You just kicked me off because you decided to hop on Grand Theft Auto.
I don't know why you prefer to play on.
Well, because starting out, I had I had the better profile because I mean I had everything laid out already, and like I said, whenever I play games, I play them, and I get. I'm not going to say. I mean, obviously we're free terrible gamers, but I get decent at them quick.
Yeah,
So by the time he was to be able to hop on and everything else, I had pretty much everything that he could have wanted unlocked.
I don't know. I didn't play GTA 5. I did play it on when I was dating Summer. I played it on her 360, but I never owned it because I just didn't have interest in it. But I did buy it, I'd say about a year ago. I bought it on sale for like $15 on the Epic Game Store. And I mean, obviously you only play it on PC, but I mean, it's not bad, but I prefer the older ones.
Yeah. Only thing I really like about five and what I would choose over top of any other GTA is the fact that the characters run better and then you can full on just Superman punch somebody. You can't do that in the other titles without it just being a jab, but this one you can actually full fledged and just donkey punch someone in the back of the head.
Yeah. I mean, obviously the graphics are better than what we're used to, but
Oh yeah. But at this point it's has survived three console generations.
yeah, I mean,
I guess
they're not
technically it
the best, but
released at the start of the Xbox One, but it's still released on the 360 and PlayStation 3 first because those were already out. And there's like, okay, not everyone's going to fork out money to get these consoles right away. So,
right.
I mean, technically, like I said, year wise, it was released right at the same time frame, but it still was on free generation consoles at this point. So, six is definitely well due.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're just milking it out as much as they can, like Nintendo is Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8's been out 10 years and they haven't had a new one except for Mario Kart Tour on mobile, but they're just milking it out because they're still getting a lot of money from it.
Exactly. Like I said, GTA 5 has done everything that Destiny, the original Destiny, wanted to do. I know Destiny 2 is creeping up on 10 years now, too. But with the original Destiny, that's what they said. They had a 10-year plan in mind, and GTA 5 definitely done it better than what they did.
Yeah, just Destiny 1, it had potential because it was a great game. I just think they didn't support it as much as what they should have to make that 10 years last.
Oh, yeah. And just like I tried to get into it right when it started, but I started right when it had that glitch at the very beginning. So I played the same level like 5 times, and I got tired of playing the same level 5 times. So I just never did get back into it. Granted, I have played Destiny 2, and I, enjoyed it a little bit, but I got into it too late to really enjoy the series.
So I beat Destiny 1. I didn't beat all the DLC. I just beat the base game. And then Destiny 2, I played a little bit of it. I just can't get into it. I like Destiny 1 better. I can't get into Destiny 2 as much.
Oh yeah. But like I said, every time we play those and how you introduced me to Warframe, I prefer to hop on the Warframe instead.
And it's free. Well,
And it's free.
I guess technically Destiny 2 is free now, but I actually have the disc. I bought it when it came out.
Yeah, but can you cross platform play on Destiny 2?
You can, like if you play it on Stadia, you can play it with Xbox people or whatever.
But you can't do Xbox and PlayStation crossover.
I'm not sure.
Or you
PlayStation's
might be able to
weird.
now.
Some games they allow, some games they don't. You know how they are.
Yep. But Warframe you can with all the systems.
Yeah, Warframe. I like Warframe. It's free, and in some
Not a
ways it's better
sponsor.
than
They should be
Destiny.
though.
They should be. I'll reach out to them. We'll see about that. All right. Let's go on to our next topic. The new PS5 model. Did you check that out?
I haven't really checked it out just because for me it ain't really nothing new. PlayStation tends to do that right after console releases because they done it with the PS4 Pro. They done it well shoot with I think every single PlayStation integration that's not the first one. Granted, this one's came out quicker than the other ones because I'm pretty sure we had two different types of PlayStation 2s because I had the newer version and you had the older one, and they both looked completely different, even though, back then it was basically the same thing. I do enjoy the thought that it does have new PlayStation 5 it is coming out, the remodel or whatever. I do like the fact that it has like it's smaller, so therefore it's more it's not smaller. The motherboard is smaller, so therefore it's more energy efficient.
Yeah. And did you see where they were making it with a removable disk drive?
Oh, so they're kind of taking a play off of the Xbox Series S all digital copy.
Well, they already have an all digital PS5 and then one with a disk drive, but this one's going to have a removable disk drive.
Hey, okay, I see what you're saying now. No, I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't see that part on the article that I read. It mainly
So,
well, obviously the article that I read mainly focused on the motherboard and how much more energy efficient it was. It didn't really say that the disk drive was going to be removable or not.
well, I'm not sure why they're going with the removable disk drive, but my theory on it is that people can buy the newer model and then for cheaper without it having a disk drive and then just buy the disk drive later if they want physical copy games. So
Yeah,
it's kind of a budget option, which is good on their part, but it's not good on their part that they've already increased the PS5 prices. But
yeah. Well, I mean, it's pretty much increased everywhere if it's not here in Japan. They're still
right,
the same
yeah,
price here.
yeah. But really, I mean, when they talked about increasing the PS5 prices, they released their quarterly earnings and they were up since the last quarter. So the reason they're increasing the prices is probably due to the shortage of chips or whatever, but that's been going on for a couple years now. So in my theory, it's just them being greedy since they went up this quarter. They're just want more money.
Well, that and I mean, they're obviously going to blame it on the inflation that's literally affecting everybody else. But at the same time, if you're already, charging $500 for a game console, which is a pretty standard price, you're not really changing anything. But it ain't no different than what Ubisoft's trying to do with increasing some of their first party, like their main games. They're trying to increase it up to $79.99 now. Is that $59.99? So they're trying to raise $20 on video games now.
Well, I seen that some developers went up $10 to $70,
69.99.
$69.99, like 2K and other developers have, but I didn't see where they were going to $79.99. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, the $10 difference for the developers is the difference in between buying a disc that's cross-platform already.
Right. Yeah.
That's what those ones
Yeah.
are for. But Ubisoft is like their mainstream games, like Assassin's Creed, the new ones that's coming out. They plan on releasing it at $70 price tag, or I mean, a $80 price tag.
Ubisoft, I mean, yeah, they have good games, but lately they've been kind of flat on their games. They haven't even been that good lately.
I mean, I understand having to pay your, employees or whatever, but at the end of the day, a disc usually only costs about anywhere from $2 to $5 to put everything on it.
Yeah, I mean,
Which, like I said, I know the overall general thing is what happens behind is what goes onto the disc. But at the same time, if you're getting games that only have, you know, 20 to 30 hours of playtime on it, that's not really worth it.
Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub $500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. Shop 30 to 50% off Movement's innovative California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories with fast free shipping and returns now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
yeah, I mean, most of the money is during development, but they have a budget for each game, so they know how much they're going to spend anyway. And if you stay in that budget, then you should be fine on money. You shouldn't have to raise the prices.
Exactly. But yet again, they're going to use the same excuse as everybody else right now and blame inflation.
Yeah, but
Like I said, I can understand the $10 increase if you want to have cross-platform capability. I completely understand that because, why not? But the moment you raise it another, $20 on normal is kind of pushing it.
we've had $60 games for years,
I think
for over a decade.
It's been almost 2 decades because I'm pretty sure it happened in like 01 or 02.
The GameCube and PS2 era.
It's right when it increased to $59.99.
So I mean, it's been 2 decades, and you're just now wanting to raise the price when we're still using discs. I mean,
Unless you're Nintendo.
yeah, but
They went back to cartridge.
which is cheaper than a disc.
Which Nintendo's never been a fan of disc. I mean, yeah, the GameCube was a mini one, and then the Wii was, an actual disc. But other than that, did the Wii U have disc?
Yep.
Okay, so 3 out of their 8 consoles have had disc.
Nintendo's reason for it is, to try to eliminate piracy. It's harder to download, data off of a cartridge than it is a disc, which
Well,
is
that too. And
possible. It's
when they
just
was
harder.
initially partnered with Sony, and Sony screwed them over and went to make the PlayStation without them, that left a sour taste in their mouth too about disc.
Yeah, but that also hurt Nintendo that generation with the 64 going with cartridges because a lot of developers didn't go, make games for them because it was harder to make it for the Nintendo
Yep,
64.
because it
You
was
can fit
such a
less
huge.
data
Yep,
on a cartridge.
from what you could have disc.
Yeah. Back then, now, I mean, they're fitting full-size games on a tiny little cartridge. Just, technology's made a long way.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, it goes back to an earlier rant on a previous podcast of it being, from literally the time that we started playing games, it was kilobytes, and then it changed into megabytes, and then it's, gigabytes now. I'm pretty sure in the next two console generations, it's going to take terabytes to download games.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, what 2K this year is 142 gigabytes?
Maybe for the next gen.
Maybe for next gen, but still, that's already pushing the limits. Like I said, 3 years ago, with still the last console generation, 2K's biggest game was 42 gigabytes.
Yeah.
So you think it almost tripled in just 3 years, size wise, just by the new generations. So yeah, in the next couple of generations, I see games being terabytes.
That's a big old game.
They are, and yet again, going back to Ubisoft with like Assassin's Creed and everything else like that, those games are slowly just getting bigger and bigger because people want the bigger games because it, longer, you get more longevity out of them. But at the same time, there's comes a certain point to where everything is just eventually going to increase because yet again, going back on the same rant, the little 4 megabyte memory card that I had, how big that little sucker is. If you have memory cards for GameCube, you can get a 128 gigabyte, flash drive now, and it's a whole lot smaller. Yeah, it may be long, but it's a whole lot tinier device to fit on those things.
I mean, you can get a terabyte micro SD card. Them things are tiny. That's crazy. You can fit a terabyte on them little things.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I said, it's just slowly getting crazy and crazy with how much stuff holds now.
Well, and developers and console makers, they have to realize too, though, they can't increase the price too much because video games are they aren't a necessity. They're a hobby. They're a want. So you don't have to have them to live. So they got to keep that in mind that if it gets too pricey, a lot of people aren't going to buy the stuff anymore.
Well, I mean, that's true, but I think they also look at the gaming community as almost like druggies to an extent.
That's true, but
Because
I
I
mean,
mean, you got the certain amount of people that they're going to get their fix no matter what.
it's cheaper. Just get some emulators and play some retro games.
Yeah, yeah, it's the difference between cocaine and meth to how
Exactly.
they're going to view it. One's
Exactly.
better for you, but one's cheaper.
Exactly. Now, just emulate responsibly. Don't do it illegally. The better PlayStation 1 mascot, was it Spyro or Crash?
Well, as far as that goes, growing up, I never really did play those two titles just because I had Nintendo consoles and not PlayStation until later on, and still those two didn't really suit my fancy for playing. Granted, going back as an adult and playing those two titles, I preferred Crash for the platforming side of it.
Yeah, uh, I did. You bought both of the new remade trilogies, didn't you?
I I bought the Crash one. I somehow it came out like, and then I came and picked it up like literally a month later because I forgot I pre-ordered it. That's
Oh
what it
yeah, I
was.
remember that. And the Crash, I thought you pre-ordered it because you got that little toy in that box or whatever for it.
Yeah, I got that little cube Lego thingy.
Yeah. Well, I I had a PlayStation 1 growing up as well, so I played both of those a lot. Uh, Crash, it was a good game, but I preferred Spyro personally. I know a lot of people don't want to agree with that, but I just thought it was a better game. Maybe not all of them. They seemed definitely the third one. The third Spyro kind of fell off after the first two, but the first two were solid games. But Crash, all three of them are really good. And I know Crash was more of Sony's mascot than Spyro was, but they both played a big part of it. But I just thought Spyro was the better games altogether. They just had more adventure to them.
Oh yeah. And
They
it's
said,
still so weird that how they was. It's weird how they done the battle their own mascots against each other because Nintendo had theirs, with Mario, and Sega had theirs with Sonic, and then Xbox technically had theirs with Master Chief at the start with Halo series. And then you got PlayStation over here. It's like, okay, I'm going to pit my top against each other to see which one wins out with the community.
yeah, they didn't really. I mean, they did kind of go at Nintendo with that commercial with Crash outside of Nintendo headquarters or whatever. But other than that, they just fought each other like themselves. Other companies were going at each other, and then Sony was fighting with themselves.
Yeah, because I remember. Oh, I mean, we're this old. I remember the Happy Meal toys with Crash and Spyro figuring out which one you was going to get in a Happy Meal.
Yeah,
Just because that was, I mean, obviously a big thing, and it's a big thing whenever McDonald's gets involved with it to sell kids toys.
right. Well, and I mean, they even done Crash and Spyro kind of like collision games, or where they were like, I think it was for the Game Boy Advance, like Spyro Orange and then Crash Purple, where they kind of featured each other in each other's games. It's pretty cool.
Rings a bell and makes sense.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Sony sold both of those IPs. Activision owns both of them now. That's who made the trilogies. So now their mascot is really, God of War.
I would say that,
Kratos.
or the Last of Us. Really think about it too. Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, they can do Spider-Man, but usually when you think of like a Sony exclusive IP, I mean, yes, Spider-Man is, but they usually think of Kratos and God of War, or like even they still have Ratchet and Clank, and they have Jack and Daxter, but most of the
Yeah.
time you think of God of War as their big, big game.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I don't disagree. I'm just saying the possibilities since they technically lost their mascots that they had in the early 2000s.
They should have fought more to keep them, but than they did. But I mean, they were making money out. They're like, they helped us get on top. We're there now. Let's just forget them. Pretty much. What they
Yep.
did.
Forget your roots.
Exactly, and that's where a lot of companies go wrong.
Yep. Not
They
Nintendo. They
forget what
still
makes them.
not Nintendo or Xbox. They're still going strong with their two main mascots.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Sony did. I mean, just the developers that were making the games, they just ran out of ideas. While with Mario and Sonic, not Sonic. I mean, yeah, I guess Sonic too, but Mario and Zelda and Master Chief and Halo, they just keep coming out with new games, new ideas, and everything.
Yep.
And Sega too with Sonic Frontiers is coming out soon, and
November 8th for sure now.
yep, yeah, he was right on that. But I've seen a lot of people have got early copies, and they're saying it's a good game.
Well,
All right.
are you going to wrap it up?
Yeah. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for this episode. Just so you guys know, we have been working in the background for a new podcast. It's a sports podcast featuring me and Collins, two terrible sports analysts. So it'll be releasing the same day as this. So go check it out. And like always, go give our YouTube channel a subscribe, follow us on Twitch. We have a Patreon, we have Discord, and all of our Amazon affiliate links. All the new games that are coming out this month, I've already made affiliate links for those. If you want to pre-order them using our link, we get a small commission off of it, so we appreciate that. Colin, do you have anything?
Nah, you pretty much covered everything, so I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, later, guys.
Gear Patrol calls their new dive watch the best sub $500 dive watch. Full stop. Men's Health rated them as the most stylish solar watch in the game. Who are we talking about? It's Movement. They're leveling up your gift giving with the sleekest watches you can buy and the biggest deals of the season. Shop 30 to 50% off Movement's innovative California clean watches, jewelry, and accessories with fast free shipping and returns now at mvmt.com. That's mvmt.com.
At Granger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.